How's it going, everyone? Mike here with Merch by Amazon sales update. I've been getting a lot of messages, people saying, where are you? Do your daily updates. You're one of the few, probably the only guy that's actually doing realistic daily updates, even when it's a bad day. When I have a day like this with 2 or 4 sales, I'm just giving it to you guys straight. Without any kind of manipulation or anything. I think it's actually great to have some kind of a reference point where, especially with someone, just some regular guy who's not, making $1 million a year through merch. So if you're in a situation like myself and you kind of want a reference point and see what's going on with someone else's account, I guess it's these videos have been helpful. So I don't mind doing them, so I'll definitely continue. Let's get right into these numbers. I'm going to do today, and then we'll look at last week, and then all of May, so the first 19 days, and then we'll compare it to last month, and basically just get a sense of what's going on and where we are. So let's get into the sales numbers first. As you can see here, today's a good day. So today, 11 days. But the average has been about, this is US sales, anybody who's familiar with Pretty Much Pro, these are the US sales. So the average in the US is about 6, 7, 8, right? This is lower than March, and just about slightly lower, maybe by 1, than all of April. Now, that in itself is as expected. Now, where it becomes a little tricky are, for example, these new numbers that we're looking at. So not only have I been tiered up from tier 8,000 to 20,000 starting in March, now with the new product policy, I'm able to list or have up, as you can see here, 25,750 products. Now, I want you to just kind of take a note of that number because we're going to look at that in a second, and I actually just want to tell you why that's not significant, the difference between, for example, the 20,000 and 25,000. So because I just did the math, and anyways, so the average, like I said, is about 7 or 8, which brings me to the total number of about 50 for the last 7 days. So the average week average is about 50, and then that brings me to the total of this month for the US market to 119, as you can see here. So the total amount of sales, and let's load this up. It's taking a second. It shouldn't. Let's see if we can get it going again. There it is. So the total amount of sales for the first 19 days is $2,176.82. Now, again, keep in mind this the day is not over, so there's a couple of hours left. But again, that's kind of where we're going to be, and that totals it's $420.60 in royalties, U.S. market. Now, let's go back. Let's go actually to all of the markets. As you can see here, 141. So that's across all the marketplaces. And I just kind of did the math quickly, and this will get us close to $500 in sales. Not exactly, closer to maybe 480, 490, but that's about it. So first 19 days, total number of sales 141 to close to $500 in royalties. So when we look at the week as a whole, and especially the US market, it starts looking kind of like slow. If we compare the month to previous months, it's on track. So it's definitely not a slow month, but it just seems like it because these numbers now are looking ridiculously high, which brings me to this point. So ever since the new policy or whatever you want to call it was implemented, I've been making sure to list the 400 products that I'm able to list every single day. So depending on your strategy, the 400 products, you can, if you want to, you can list one product per design and then have 400 new products up. But what I've been doing is I've been listing, and I want to be careful with the terminology here. I've been listing designs that would make sense to be on all the products. So every single design that I list, I put it on 64 products. Now, I made a comment earlier and basically said this is starting to look less significant, and here's why. So in the last couple of weeks, I've added about 5,000 new products. So let's say it's 5,000, and let's do the math here together. 5,750 new products, right? That's a huge number. But let's divide it by the number of actual products and see how many designs. So about 90 designs. So 90 new designs have been added in the last couple of weeks, which actually equals to these 5,750 products. So now when we're looking at this, that's not a crazy number. That's actually a very low number in my opinion, because up until this point, up until I got this new policy was implemented, I had about 3,000, let's say 500 designs up. So to add 90 to that number is nothing, right? So if and this is actually, I'm getting to the point that I'm trying to make. If you're doing the same thing as I am, and seeing this number go up, and you're looking at your thousands and thousands of products that you're putting up, but the sales aren't coming in, for example, or exploding, or coming in like crazy, like you would actually expect, don't be surprised, because you've only added about 50 to 100 designs since this new policy was implemented, and that's if you're at a tier 20,000. If you're at a lower tier, that means that this number, if you're putting your designs on every single product, is actually way lower. So that's kind of what I'm trying to say. So basically, in summary, May so far is exactly where we kind of expected it to be. There's definitely a dip, and we're not going to look at 2020 as a reference, but let's look at 2019. And as you can see here, big spike in December, Q4, slows down a little bit. We see a spike in March, and then it goes down. And look at this. Expect a slow summer, right? All the way until we get to, September, October. And this year might be even a little different, because usually there's like back to school shopping, all that kind of stuff. So I don't even know if those kinds of rules apply, but this is basically the trend line that we're following to see where the sales are going, and we're pretty much on point. So we had the big spike, and then now we're kind of going down. And I expect these numbers to actually be around the same, but the long-term expectation is that we're, at least for me, we're going to see an increase in sales, simply because I will continue to list as many products as I am allowed. I don't want to miss a day. I'm using Merch Titans Automation. I've actually just recently signed up for the automated design. I don't know the exact name of it, but basically where you are able to scale products. So for example, you make one design, and then you run a spreadsheet through the Chrome extension, and then for example it changes the single variable that you want it to change. So in that sense, you can, for example, the example that they used is like if you say it's great to be 20, now you can change that 20 number to 30, 40, 50, 60, and so on. And so basically that's what I'm doing. I'm generating large numbers of designs where I can even, have a larger number of products. And that's why I'm saying my expectation, simply because of the numbers, is that the sales will increase over time. But again, this has been the average as expected, and this number here, when you actually do the math, is a lot less significant than you might think. Anyways, that's it. As always, thank you guys. Keep sending me those encouraging messages. I actually like them. If there's anything else that you want me to discuss, you know where to leave those comments. And as always, thank you for watching.